Why do you insist on defying me?
I'm starting to enjoy it.
Doubt you'll ever get this message, Grace. We've been waiting weeks now with I hope Keeper Everett is okay. I've been told his sermons are wonderful, and I hope he will be able to deliver the word of grace again soon. Make things work. I'd like you to know that we still love you and think about you. Great comfort to our family over the years. We've all made them for us. With your wisdom, you are missed.
So Grace would receive wishes, and then leave people with instruction in the form of sermons. Could that really be all there was to it?
Ideas are powerful. Perhaps just returning with a more enlightened perspective was enough to move society toward common goals.
Highly unlikely. Grace must have had some control over planetary infrastructure, if she was to have had the influence you suspect. Here you go.
Great. I don't recognize these words. They look like technical or medical terms. A list of supplies, maybe.
Or a list of demands.
My demand is that you go to the elevator at once.
Are we allowed to draw on the windows here?
Certainly not. The people who did this were looking for trouble.
So I've been thinking a lot, and I feel like, there's been peace for like centuries now, right? But I watch the old Halos, and there's wars and bad guys and pirates and people who need saving, and it's exciting, right? And of course, it's awful, people dying. But I feel like there's no way to, prove yourself. Nothing to fix or protect. Does that make any sense? I just want something, anything at all to happen. I guess that's what I wish for. Not like a war or anything, just something.
So this guy was just bored?
Like me.
I think this was the last room.
It is.
Finally. You're looking pretty smug.
What's the pattern?
Another easy one. Light the four corners of the pad. You really didn't need my help for this one. It would be a common pattern when guessing symbols.
I have to give you something to do, right? Look at all the vacuum tubes. Must be one in every room in the settlement. Keepers must have been busy.
It's what Grace does with the wishes that should interest us. Did you like my little game?
You mean the game where you refused to help us?
I provided you with the opportunity to prove yourself. Is that not why you're here?
I'm an archaeologist. I'm here to do my job.
I don't think Addie enjoys having obstacles placed in the way of her goals.
We have arrived at our destination.
The Spire pilgrims must have gathered here. To listen to the Keeper's sermons, I guess.
People will return here once the beacon is restored. Flock and shepherd will be reunited.
Signs of conflict?
Or a strength contest?
Wish canisters.
These have never been used.
For recording wishes, maybe. They look pretty banged up. Where is Grace? Well, I'm not alone in wondering.
I am here. It is the people who are lost.
Pilgrims were building fires. Why would they do that? Quite the manifesto. I don't recognize the language.
I am embarrassed to say I do not recognize it either.
Well, they were here long enough to get bored. It must have been written with charcoal from the fires. Seems to be holding my weight. This must weigh a ton. At least a couple people worked together to break through here. This explains all the canisters lying around.
Must have been fun. It would have been chaos.
There was clearly a lot of anger directed toward the Keeper.
Looks like people camped out here. Death to Everett. Pretty clear who they blamed. This must be an attempted barricade. I'm guessing there was a lengthy siege. So, when Grace shut down, the Pilgrims blamed the Keeper. They demanded to see Grace, or thought they could reactivate her. The Keeper turned off the heat. Pilgrims built fires, dug in. They eventually got restless. Wish canisters started flying. As Pilgrims were breaking through the partition, the Keeper and his followers built up a barricade. We'll have to make our way through the barricade to learn how it ended.
You'll want your light, Addie.
Can't make this out. Second barricade. Looks like they got under this one. Do we know where this goes?
To a funicular that leads to the next section of the spire.
Long live Grace.
Apparently not.
Oxygen tanks. Everett upped the ante. Cut off life support here. This canister looks undamaged.
And it has been recorded on.
Oxygen is almost out. We are going to make one last push today before returning to the ships. Grace, help us. We will win.
Hold on, Addie. The room beyond the airlock is uncompressed. I don't believe it can be sealed. Something must have been compromised. You'll want your helmet on.
The tracks ahead lead to the highest point of the spire, known as the lighthouse.
Is that where we'll find Grace's processors?
Obviously.
You need only worry about the beacon, Addie.